Back in the 1980s, not only had a basketball star been born, but also sneakers that would mark a before and after in the industry, the Air Jordans. These sneakers became an icon of style, performance, and culture from day one. Air Jordans mean innovation, top quality, and cutting-edge style. Every design, every little detail shows the passion and drive of its creator. But Air Jordan isn't just about sports gear. It's a brand that's bigger than basketball, a whole cultural phenomenon. Now, 39 years since they dropped, and with 37 models later, they're collector's items, going for crazy prices at auctions. This is the story of the Air Jordan, inspired by the man who changed the world of basketball forever. Back in 1984, Michael Jordan, a young basketball talent fresh out of the University of North Carolina, was about to shake things up. Not just in the sport, but also in the world of sneakers. At the same time, Nike was struggling. The company, founded by track coach Bill Bowerman and his athlete Phil Knight in 1964, couldn't seem to boost its sales or expand beyond the sports scene. Meanwhile, its competitors were ahead of the game, fitting in with current trends. Adidas was setting the pace in urban fashion, as shown by the success of Run DMC's My Adidas. Converse, on the other hand, ruled the NBA scene with stars like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Nike needed something big to make a splash and someone recognizable to represent them. The answer came in the form of a 21-year-old basketball sensation who hadn't even played a professional game yet. But Jordan was so sure of his potential that he insisted on having his own exclusive shoe model, a rare privilege for players back then. Luckily for Nike, Adidas couldn't meet that demand. At that time, Nike was mainly known for its running shoes and wasn't big in basketball. However, David Falk, Jordan's agent, thought the young star could do even better in the market. They just needed a company that believed in Jordan's potential. Of course, Jordan wasn't thrilled about this. He'd always been an Adidas fan, but Nike made an offer too good to refuse. His own product line, something no other company offered. Moreover, Nike offered more than double what Adidas did, and understood they could treat him better here. Then, Jordan's mom stepped in. Moms always know best, and convinced him to consider the offer. That's when the Jordans saw the chance to create an iconic brand. Nike didn't waste that opportunity. In front of Michael Jordan, Peter Moore unveiled the design he had worked exclusively for him. Sneakers with a compressed airbag in the sole that cushioned the impact of each step, allowing the athlete to feel the court as they played. Hence the inspiration for the name Air Jordan. The fabric tongue is another of the most characteristic aspects of the sneaker. With a design as innovative as the one conceived 40 years ago, which still holds up today, this element not only protects the ankle and is fully integrated into the body of the sneaker, but also provides softness and comfort. However, what was truly groundbreaking, what shattered all design norms, were the colors used. Up until that point, sneakers were either white or black. Air Jordans came in red, black, and white, inspired by the franchise MJ represented. The idea was to break down color barriers in footwear fashion, acknowledged the designer. The Air Jordan 1 became iconic because of its daring design, which actually got MJ fined $5,000 every time he wore them in a game for breaking the NBA's dress code. Nike covered those fines as part of their marketing strategy, and while Michael Jordan was showing off his skills on the court, earning Rookie of the Year, Nike was selling out of their new kicks. Apart from those features, the famous sneakers had another distinctive trait, their logo, which in the early versions was a basketball with wings. With these characteristics, in 1985, Air Jordans hit the shelves in two versions. The ones Jordan wore during games, red, black, and white, and another version in just red and black, priced at $65. While Nike hoped to make $3 million in profits in the first year, Air Jordan ended up raking in $126 million in sales. Plain and simple, those sneakers put Nike on the map. They took a gamble, and luckily, it paid off. But 3 years later, in 1988, the Bulls' shooting guard, hungry for success both on and off the court, threatened not to renew his contract with the company and switch to Adidas. That's when Tinker Hatfield stepped in, the other hero of the company, and the one responsible for spreading the Air Jordan craze worldwide. Hatfield was tasked with designing the Air Jordan 3, the sneaker that had to convince the star to stay with the brand. The third generation introduced Jordan's iconic silhouette for the first time, with him soaring in the air ready to dunk. The famous Jumpman logo, along with an elephant print on the heel and toe that hadn't been seen before, another one of Jordan's signatures. The design changes and materials caught his eye, but Hatfield had one more ace up his sleeve. The model came with a full line of sportswear. When they hit stores in 1988, Michael was at the top, already a basketball superstar, and everyone wanted to be like Mike. That's why experts say they're the perfect blend of high-performance sports, fashion, and pop culture. Since then, the Nike and Jordan duo has become a powerful force, with Hatfield as the engine behind the scenes. After 39 years, more than 37 different models have been made, not counting the retro versions and the various color combinations within the same model. In 1990, Michael Jordan was at the top of his game, but despite his exceptional talent, he hadn't clinched the NBA championship yet. The pressure was on, both from his own ambitions and the world's expectations. As he geared up for a new season, Nike rolled out a special pair of kicks just for him, the Air Jordan 5. These shoes weren't just footwear, they embodied everything about Jordan: his speed, power, and ability to soar. When he laced up the Air Jordan 5, he felt like he had a secret weapon on the court. It boosted his confidence every time he looked down and saw them on his feet, a constant reminder of who he was and what he aimed for. In a crucial moment during the 5th game of a series, with the Air Jordan 5 on his feet, Jordan made a game-changing play, securing the points that would lead the Bulls to victory. Throughout the 1992 and 1993 seasons, Jordan played with unmatched intensity, unyielding determination, and incredible skill. He ruled the court not only with his talent, but also with his unbeatable spirit. And on his feet were a pair of sneakers that would become a symbol of his greatness, the Air Jordan 5. These shoes weren't just a fashion statement, they were an extension of Jordan himself on the court. With them, he soared higher, ran faster, and played harder. Every jump, every sprint, every shot felt magnified by the energy and vitality that radiated from those sneakers. They were more than just shoes. They were a testament to Jordan's passion, determination, and relentless drive to be the best. But in 1993, Michael unexpectedly announced his retirement due to his father's death. This hit Nike hard, as they were doing better than ever, causing their stocks to plummet by 40%. After 2 years away, MJ returned to the NBA in late 1995. His sneakers had to be top-notch. They featured a carbon fiber plate in the sole for more comfort and movement, a nylon upper with round or loop laces of the same material, and patent leather on the toe and around the shoe. With them, he won his 4th championship and was named MVP of the season. Plus, the 11th generation became famous on the big screen, appearing in the movie Space Jam. For all these reasons, they became one of the most sought-after models by everyone. In fact, Air Jordans have become collector's items, fetching millions of dollars at auctions. Recently, a pair of sneakers, specifically the Nike Air Jordan 13, worn by Michael Jordan himself in the 1998 finals, during that season dubbed The Last Dance, and autographed by him, sold for $2.2 million at Sotheby's, as revealed by a resale report on clothing and footwear in the United States by Statista. With this data regarding the most valuable sneakers in the collectibles market, it surpasses the previous record set by Jordan himself in 2021 for a pair of Nike Airships he wore in 1984. Besides revolutionizing the sports industry, Air Jordans have become a must-have for lovers of style and street fashion. On the shoe resale platform StockX, the Air Jordan 1 Chicago model now sells for up to $1,500. These shoes are worth every penny because ultimately, Air Jordan 1s are more than just footwear. They made it cool to express an athlete's personality through a product. Michael and our designers proved that sports shoes could be more than just functional. They could reflect a person's style. This goes to show that even after decades in the heart of sneaker culture, Air Jordans still stand as a timeless symbol of style, passion, and excellence. Their influence spans generations, appealing to both the young and old. Even though Jordan retired in 2003, his brand, his iconic silhouette, and his name continue to generate millions of dollars. They've become the most sought-after sneakers in sports, earning Nike huge profits and making Michael Jordan the highest-paid retired athlete in history. And that's the story of the sneakers that changed the world of sports. Do you have any Air Jordans in your sneaker collection? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for more content on fashion legends. Thanks for watching.